All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to WLDL 2025 VOD replay between MUDBOYS and 51st State. This was a best of 3 in the lower semifinals. And so the loser of this team gets eliminated from Quas Division. They're out. And the winner, I believe, goes to Grand Final, correct? Or no? Or they play us, right? I think they play our pause one as Legends. And then the winner of that goes to Grand Final. I realized I didn't have my voice activation on. I wasn't pushing
Oh,
talking there. Sorry. So the stream heard me, but you did not.
I
Let
see.
me
Oh,
put on
okay.
voice activity. There we go. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. So just short recap. I introduced the teams, the leagues, and winner of this game plays our pause one as legend next series, right?
Yeah, lower bracket finals.
Okay. And winner of that goes on to the grand finals.
Yep.
All right.
Against putting the R in RG12.
Who is the best team by far in this league? Very difficult team to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so starting off bans, we have Ringmaster and Wraith King, two pretty popular meta picks, getting banned by 51st State.
Mm-hmm.
MUDBOYS is going to ban out Terrorblade and Monkey. I've noticed that MUDBOYS likes to ban just like weird heroes, just like it feels like heroes that they don't want to play against more so than like targeted
Like
bans.
targeted bans, yeah.
Yeah. So like Terrorblade Monkey, you wouldn't think in a million years you'd see those heroes get banned first phase, but it really feels like it's just like they're mid or
They are actually pretty popular heroes in the meta right now.
Mhm.
They're like second phase picks. But I don't think 51st State has like Terrorblade mains. I feel like if you're gonna ban out heroes against 51st State, it would be against Dan, I think, right? Their mid player.
Mhm.
Because Wolf Cola's not playing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to recognize what players pick what heroes because I don't remember what these heroes play. I do remember
Let me
Wolf
pull it up.
Cool's heroes, that's it, but he's not playing.
Pull up my cover sheet here.
Follow-up bans are going to be Jakiro, Night Stalker. That's a little bit more traditional. Usually see all 4 of those heroes get picked first base.
Yeah. The Wraith King Ringmaster is pretty common as well.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently Shadow Shaman's a very strong hero right now in the meta. It had a very high win rate at Blast, I think.
I feel like Rasta's been popular in the meta for a very long time.
For a long time, yeah.
Like he's just always a solid support.
I mean, it gives you CC, gives you damage, gives you push.
Right.
You buy a blink, you have mobility, right? Like, what more can you ask for from a support? Hey, first pick, that's a pretty common opener. A very strong hero as well right now.
I think I may have accidentally paused it. We need to resync. So 20.
14,
Okay,
13, 12. Oh, let me pause then.
I'm at
I'm
7.
at, oh, go. Oh, I'm at 7 now. On 51st
Just
State, first pick, right?
yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
All right, we're good.
0. Okay.
We are resynced. All right, so Ancient Apparition gets first picked. Not surprised to see something like
Oh,
that.
TA
Templar
first pick.
into the Ancient
I mean,
Apparition. Hmm.
it's first pick, first ban material. It's a very strong hero, super high win rate. Picked a lot of blast. I mean, it's pretty strong.
I feel like it's a little hard to go into the A though, because the A can just burn all your stacks off. Uh, TA can get like there's no like super hard counter for her. It used to be that any hero with a dot, like a Jakiro
Right.
or a Necrophos or whatever, just burns off those refraction charges. But with the change to her refraction, where like the refraction has like HP now, just means
Right.
that it's not as much of a counter. But yeah, definitely a solid laner. Very high physical burst damage. She can almost solo objectives by herself. So in this objective focused meta we're currently in, where
Hmm.
like teams just like get tempo and take objectives and push lanes, win games, win like 30 minutes. She is absolutely cream of the top carry to be able to fulfill that.
Yeah, she's great for that. And I mean, she does a lot of late game damage too, right?
Yeah, she can transition very well. If you go
Like,
Ags on her, like people don't pick Ags on her, but it's so annoying to play against an Ags
yeah,
TA because it's basically playing against Prophet. You're just TPing around the map all the time.
right.
For the life of me, I can't think of like hard counters right now in terms of like ones. I feel like anything that gets like on top of her, like a troll warlord, probably has a fun time. Just anything with good
Protection.
armor.
Yeah.
Even I
I
feel
don't
like
think we've been seeing a lot of troll though at all because the hero is pretty
yeah,
dog shit.
I feel like sniper does decently well against her. You just need someone with dust to prevent meld. Just something with like high attack speed and armor is fine.
We could just count through the queue.
Yeah, along with the shrapnels as well.
Yeah.
So those are gonna be your first picks. Next bands are going to be Puck and Rubik. Rubik's interesting. I wonder if they're going to pick any kind of hero that doesn't like Rubik, like an Underlord. Um, Puck I feel is pretty unusual as well. I feel like Puck is like one of the worst heroes you can second phase pick. You generally want to pick that last just because it's so easy to counter that hero. You pick some kind of lane crusher, prevent the Puck from having a game.
Hmm.
But this is MUDBOYS has a very unique approach to drafting. They generally just draft or ban shit they don't like to play against.
Right.
Sand King is going to be the ban for 51st State. Pretty
It's
common
also
hero.
meta
Yeah.
hero. Yeah.
Good lane presence. Very high tempo hero. If the Sand King is allowed to get ahead in terms of levels, he can just obliterate team fights by himself. Also, Sand King is a like a dot hero that can burn through the refraction charges very quickly. So like a carry along with Sand King would be able to just shred through the TA.
Yeah. Is refraction. Yeah.
Sand King as well. This is like a little bit deeper than 51st Date was thinking, but like if you draft a team that's going to be taking objectives like a TA, you want to ban. You don't want to play against shit that's like counters you taking an objective. Like if the Sand King's nearby, Sand King can just go in on like your Roche attempt or your Tormentor attempt and just obliterate everything
Right.
with that. So like having a nice counter to those objective attempts is pretty nice to have. They go with Zeus. This could be flexed either like as a 2 or as a support. It was primarily played as support last patch. Not sure what Zeus is played as this patch.
Dazzle's an
TA,
interesting pick.
yeah. Dazzle got pretty significantly nerfed. Definitely not like super high win rate these days, but probably still a good hero. Dazzle, never dot for the TA.
Hmm. I do like the
Um,
accent to the T lane though.
oh yeah, Axe is definitely a good hero to just having any kind of offlaner with like dots. It's like you wouldn't want to pick a centaur versus TA because
Right.
you're unable to burn the charges. You want to pick like a there's no like a Legion commander versus TA, but like Axe, Underlord, Sand King, those are all great heroes versus her. Just anything with
Right.
armor, really, armor and dots. Dazzle, I think, is just like just wanting more dots on your team and having the slow combo for the cold feet and having the shallow grave if the TA tries to burst a hero. Dazzle, I assume this is like a Dazzle Axe lane. That's pretty annoying to deal with. I imagine this TA is not going to have a fun time in that lane.
No. Ooh, a brewmaster. This is not a Wolf Cola hero.
Yeah, Brewmaster's pretty fun. You feel
Provides
like
CC,
good.
makes you tanky, but doesn't really care about the A, right? Doesn't really care about the dazzle. It's a solid pick.
Yeah, I like it. It gives you like the tornado if Dazzle will grave something, you can just throw him up, or you can just tornado the Dazzle, prevent him
Right.
from graving anything. Um, if he gets A blasted, he can just ult and run around. The axe is kind of annoying because the axe can jump your brewlings and do a lot of damage to them, but it's not the end of the world if that happens. Yeah, I like this brewmaster pick just because it doesn't really care so much about the three heroes that Mudboys
Yeah.
currently has. They followed up with the Witch Doctor, and we have a pretty quick Morphling counter pick
Ooh,
on the side of Mudboys.
that's a good more fun game. Get refraction charges when you do giga damage.
Yeah, so Mudboys trying to do their best to punish this TA as much as possible. What's the Witch Doctor for? Is the Witch Doctor trying to salvage the TA's lane?
It looks like a Witch Doctor 5. I think Zeus 4 is played by Nick a lot. So it's definitely a Witch Doctor 5. So it's a TA Witch Doctor lane into X Dazzle. And I mean, the Witch Doctor is good because Maledict kind of chews through the Axe's HP, right? Maybe
Oh
that's the
yeah,
thought
and
process there.
and the TA meld burst damage just means that
Yep.
Maledict's gonna go ham.
So they're going for the high damage lane.
Okay, so I do like this Witch Doctor pick. Like it does punish the Axe and Dazzle if they try and stomp all over you, run over you.
Mm-hmm.
Like one problem is that the Axe can like go behind your tower and try and steal creeps. Witch Doctor's pretty good at preventing that. You have to catch the Axe near like a camp or near his Dazzle for the Kasky to stun him up.
Right.
But pretty decent support to try and stop that. Morphling, like you said, very good to steal the TA's refraction charges. Otherwise, not a great targets for his ultimate, like Brewmaster or his Brew Stance, whatever it's called, Primal
Right.
Stance, is okay. And follow-up bans, we see Viper get banned along with Gyrocopter by 51st State. So they're probably thinking they don't see the mid or maybe the one. This Morphling could be flexed into either role.
Yep.
And Mudboys bans Invoker, so likewise, probably expecting the Zeus to be played 4. They'll ban the Odie as well. Mudboys, I feel like their lanes are fine. If they're picking their mid here, I feel like if they want to punish the Brewmaster, they could pick something with like Disable. They could just do even more to try and stop this TA. I don't think they pick any more like go in heroes. Just because Witch Doctor can punish that kind of ambush
Yeah.
initiation.
Um.
Any kind of like
Quap.
area damage, I'm fine with, like a Quab, a
Uh,
Leshrac.
yeah.
I do like the Quap because of the mobility, but Leshrac can just get like a
I think
Yule
it's a Morphling
Scepter.
mid.
It's gonna be
Oh yeah,
Weaver.
there's a Morphling mid.
Okay,
Morphling
so
mid, Weaver carry.
yes, the Morphling is like Weaver could be played mid as well. Weaver is a fine solo laner, but expect this to be a mid Morphling, one Weaver.
Yep.
And if you're a 51st state, you see a mid Morphling, you're picking your mid. I don't think there's any hero that really stomps the Morphling.
Necro.
Uh, Necro's alright. Anything with negative or HP prevention is okay. They go tiny.
Ooh, a tiny. So TA mid. No, it's tiny mid. Okay.
So a lot of burst on 51st state. A lot of burst, a lot of CC.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice thing to have on your draft. They are slightly cooldown dependent with their Witch Doctor, Brewmaster, Zeus ults all being relatively long cooldown, but I feel like their regular abilities are actually quite potent combined with each other
Yep.
to just burst heroes down, so they're not gonna have a problem killing heroes even without those ults. On Mudboys, I mean you do have like AA to deal with. Actually, this doesn't even feel like a good AA game now. There's not really a lot of heroes that he counters. Like Witch Doctor heal. That's about it. Tiny's a tanky hero. Brewmaster's a tanky hero.
Yeah.
Zeus is
Brewmaster
pretty
doesn't
dodgy.
care.
It's really just like the TA to try and put off
TA,
charges.
yeah, maybe the Zeus if you hit the Zeus, but that's about it.
Yeah. In terms of skin game, because even though this is a VOD, we gotta
Oh,
respect the
yeah.
rules of the league.
That tiny set's pretty sick.
That was a pretty nice tiny set.
I think I'm gonna go with 51st State on this one. They're just so the tiny set kind of sets it apart, and the Zeus set's kind of cool too. The TA set's kind of sick. Definitely 51st State.
I feel like Witch Doctor is the what do you call it? The one bringing the rest of the team down with those
Oh,
cosmetics. Pretty empty, but I do agree with you.
yeah.
I think 51st State wins this one. Do I have my? One moment. Let me get the camera operator. There we go. All right. And continuing to look at the drafts. 51st State has a ton of burst, ton of stun, is not ulti dependent. I feel like Radiant are a little item dependent. Weaver and Morph both like to have items before they start running around. Axe as well kind of wants like Blade Mill Blink before he starts running around. Dire doesn't really have that problem. I feel like the support duo needs to be very active on the side of Radiant. Dazzle can absolutely get kills basically by themselves
Absolutely.
with the
Yeah.
poison
They're
touch
very
culture.
strong.
Yeah, so I really want to see these two supports running around together pretty early on to try and get kills and try and get some gold for these kind of greedy cores on the side of Radiant. So both teams will smoke up, run to their respective jungles and camp. Does not appear like we're going to have a first blood attempt. As I
Interesting to see
did,
the Morphling tiny matchup mid. Oh, gets a right click right off the bat.
not gonna amount to much. Game time check 14, 15, 16.
Oh, I'm at 22, 23, 24. I'll pause. Go ahead and count.
I'm at 20. Here, I'm paused as well. 25. I'm paused at 25.
I'm at 25. 3, 2, 1, go.
26, 27,
27,
28.
28. Yep.
All right. We're synced up. All right, and we immediately missed the first play. All right, looks like we had a Weaver and Dazzle go bottom, killing the Witch Doctor. I guess they just killed him with the Poison Touch, plus Weaver just running at him, so not too much fancy there. First blood goes to the Dazzle, so that is not the end of the world. You'd hate to see the Weaver get that gold, help them out in lane with getting like an early Wraith Band or whatever.
I think Falcon fits the build on Weaver right now.
Yes. Let's introduce the players. So, starting off in the bottom lane, we have Ziggy playing position 1. Morphling getting super low. Has to be a little bit careful about this tiny. Alright, back to the lanes. Ziggy is going to be playing position 1 Weaver, supported by Magnus on the Dazzle as AA dies top lane. I am missing all the kills.
That's alright.
How did AA die there?
To the Zeus.
Zeus just running at him? Typical
Yeah.
Zeus things? Alright.
Yeah.
Ziggy on the Weaver, supported by Magnus on the Dazzle. They're playing off against Nate on the position 3 Brewmaster, supported by RJ on the position 4 Witch Doctor. They're going to be going on the Brewmaster Cask. Whiff slightly.
Nice kill.
Yeah, the Shadow Wave is going to kill that Brewmaster. Just tons of damage
That's
from
a
the
strong
Weaver.
lane.
Yeah, just lots of negative armor. Is Poison Touch negative armor? No, just lots of physical damage. But once Weaver gets the Q, it's going to be a lot of negative armor coming together. In the mid lane, it's going to be Dan on the Tiny, going off against Yams on the Morphling. Top lane, we have a very low Soggy playing Templar Assassin, supported by Nick on the Zeus. Facing off against Jex on the Axe, supported by Moose Style on the Ancient Apparition.
Wait, they're TPing the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, Witch Doctor TP top. Kind of, I guess the creep wave is close to tower, but the TA is so low. I feel like this is really hard to. It's just a rotation. Yeah, it's just a support rotation.
Is it?
Okay, so
The Zeus?
yeah, Zeus goes
Zeus is
bottom.
bottom. They just swap supports. Zeus went bottom with his own mana.
Yeah, it went through the
Odd.
gate. Zeus
Oh,
is
probably because they weren't having a lane bottom, right? So they probably just called for a support swap or something.
yeah. Witch Doctor is just immobile
Yeah.
and low armor, so it's gonna be very difficult for him to survive the goes in this lane. At least Zeus has the E to try and get away.
Right.
But yeah, this is a really annoying lane that Radiant have put together here, the Dazzle and Weaver. I don't expect
Tiny's
Scream
winning his
Master.
lane pretty handily right now.
Thanks for reminding me to put up last hits. Yeah,
The lane
Tiny.
should get a lot better for the Templar Assassin now that she has her first point in refraction. Be able to soak a lot more damage. Ooh. We're going on two separate things.
Have
Oh,
it
gets
go
taunted.
on top. He is maledicted, so probably doesn't want to keep fighting. Meanwhile, bottom Brewmaster just getting destroyed by this lane. I'm pretty sure the viewers at home can know what's going on down there. As Witch Doctor's getting very low. One more right click by this AA is going to bring him down. This poor Witch Doctor, man. Not having a fun time in the first 4 minutes.
The ports are so squishy.
Yep, especially to these to AA and Weaver and Dazzle.
Yeah.
Just lots of very strong lane presence from these heroes. TA's having an alright time versus this Axe AA. As A is going to get maledicted up, taking a little bit of damage, but no follow-up there. I feel like this is the lane that they wanted to do. Like we talked about the combo with Maledict and Templar Assassin being able to burst heroes.
Yeah.
So
They should have had that from the get-go probably, but maybe they weren't thinking about that part of it.
maybe they just wanted
Maybe
to
the
win
Witch Doctor
top.
was a comfort hero.
Yeah, maybe they just wanted to win top super hard, I think. But
Hmm.
I like the play for them to recognize that they needed to make that lane swap.
Yeah, that's smart.
Zeus actually has pretty nice base armor for a support. Having 4 armor really helps out versus this kind of lane.
Mm-hmm. How do they
Tiny.
kill the Weaver though?
Yeah, it's very unlikely they kill the Weaver. Trying to keep track of these lanes. Everybody is so low.
I know. It's kind of nuts. Oh, Axe is gone? No. Is he going to die? No call? No. There's nothing to call. No mana.
There is a stack here on the small camp. Back sees that. He's probably going to go steal it. Actually, Witch Doctor pulled it. Go on, Axe, go right. Go take the stack. He's kind of low, actually.
It's, yeah, 40% HP. 50% HP. This Morphling is getting shredded right now. 11 plus 4 is 15, 16 CS behind. And he's going back home. So he's gonna miss probably 2 waves for that. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's losing the wave under tower right now.
Oh,
We have a
bottom.
go bottom. Dazzle, they tried to go on the Zeus, but Zeus is able to get away. We were getting very low. Pops the stick, runs out of there. Dire just running out of abilities, not able to get a kill. Tiny did go bottle, has the shield rune. Gonna start running bottom. So with this bottle, you're gonna expect this Tiny to try and make plays, make space.
This Weaver's gonna die.
We were very low. Tiny has 3-2 Avalanche Toss combo, so if one of these heroes just gets a little too out of position, they're gonna find the Dazzle.
Yep, there it is.
Would have liked to see the Weaver get killed there, but get a Dazzle, give a little bit of breathing space for Nate and Nick. Morphling did come over.
The 2 ends, Nate and Nick. Nice.
It's like they were meant to be.
Yeah.
There's a Tiny chasing a Tiny in the river. Tiny is going to turn around on Tiny. and toss him up into the air.
Did the other Tiny toss him up in the air too? What a party. I
I
guess not.
think Morphling didn't have mana for the toss. He did avalanche him. I didn't see the
I
toss,
see.
though.
This Morphling is pretty poor.
Yeah, Tiny's just gonna damage him up. Nice thing about Morphling, though, is you can kind of survive against this poke. Ooh,
Oh,
Illusion gets denied by
denied.
Morphling.
He probably could have gotten it. He didn't have Ava. That's strange.
Probably, but he doesn't have bottles, so it's not really worth. Axe getting very low
No.
top is maledicted. TA trying to
AA
run
is
down
low.
this AA. Axe has to TP home. So gonna spend a lot of time running back to base. TA just needs one more right click. Goes for the
Oh, she gave
splash.
up.
I think TA could have
Oh,
run that AA down.
yeah.
355 versus 330 move speed.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
TA going for the fancy play there. Unable to secure it out. They're gonna go on Nick
Happens,
bottom.
yes.
They pop the bugs and the poison. Oh my god, that damage.
That's so much damage.
Poison touch plus bug. That is pretty brutal.
Truly, what can you do in that?
Despairly. Dazzle actually has more XP than the Weaver. Weaver just now getting the 6. And I don't think this lane is laneable anymore as the Brewmaster. Kind of just have to sit in the trees and soak up your 6, I feel.
Yeah. You can't really take stacks with that hero either, which kind of sucks.
That is exactly what the Brewmaster is going to do. Nope, he's going to lane. Uh-oh. Brewmaster run. Morphling keeps waveforming offensively. I guess he's not too afraid of the Tiny.
No.
Has that level 2 attribute shift.
Look at that damage, though, that you took.
Top lane, Cold Feet on the Witch Doctor. He breaks it, but gets taunted by the axe. First coin blade of the game, giving him that nice chunk of armor. TA trying to turn on the AA, but now he's going to run up by the axe. Dazzle is here, so TA's got to be a little bit careful. Poison Touch is going to come out, slow TA down. TA has no mana for anything. Pops the stick.
Oh,
Now
big
is the
wand.
mana. Nice wand. I don't think they have a detection, though, for the meld. TA could just go behind a tree and meld to hide. Gets the meld off. Taunt up in 6. TA, ooh, gets waveform. Will die. Did not see that hero come in. Nice Kasky. Gonna keep the Witch Doctor alive for just a second longer, but Yams is gonna come up, get a double kill. Nice rotation by the
Dude,
Morphin.
imagine if Witch Doctor had ulti there. Oh, man. That would have been nuts.
Would have been devastating. Just a little bit of XP off. Tiny picks up with double damage. And I'd expect Tiny to either get a kill or push tower with this. He's gonna start running top. It is daytime, so it's a little bit harder to get that gank. But these Radiant heroes are all showing under tower. They just picked that off. Zeus now playing a little aggressively, trying to get on this axe. Ease forward aggressively into the creep wave. That's going to be a dead Nick. But the Tiny's here now with amplified damage, looking on this back line, stuns up on the A, tosses the A onto the axe.
rune.
Kills them. Tons of damage from this Tiny. They just got to run away from these heroes as Dazzle now is in danger. Trying to run. Has the Shallow Grave. Pops it early. But can't TP out because of the Tiny right here. Avalanche will get a double kill. So both mids getting the double kill here.
Nice.
Around the 10-minute mark. That is nice rotation there by Tiny getting that DD.
Tiny's at 5,500 now worth at 11 minutes.
Yeah, swap over to net worth. Tiny leading the pack, followed by Weaver and TA, and then below them by about 1,000 gold are Morphling, Axe, and Brewmaster.
Oh,
EM's going to start working. Oh, Axe. Apparently there's
he
a
went on
fight
the
top. Witch Doctor gets the ultimate, maybe off of that kill. As we have it go on the Morphling. Nope, Dazzle now coming in off the projection on the Witch Doctor. Getting very low, will die to the Poison Touch. At least we see that kill. So Witch Doctor did die. I think that was to the Zeus ult. Or no, that was to Dazzle. Did the Zeus ult get anything?
No.
TA died up there as well.
Oh, Morphling's in trouble mid.
Morphling gets Brewmaster ult to strengthening up.
He's earned.
Running out of Agi. Has 20 more Agi left. Gonna wait for him. TP out of there. Just TP's out of there. Nice play by Yams.
Yeah.
Tiny now getting the bug off him. Has a haste rune. And gonna charge in, try and find a Ziggy. Ooh, 2 bounty runes. Doesn't get the Weaver, but does get those bounty runes there. Is Radiator hanging
Tasty.
around? Tiny's running in. Last couple seconds of haste. There's a Dazzler though, has the grave.
Just walks away.
He's gonna skedaddle out of there. So Tiny's being very active. Has that blink dagger, just trying to run him out. Ooh, they dropped the sentry. Find a Weaver, maledict up. Don't have the burst to bring him down. That's going to be a full HP Weaver, so not dying anytime soon. Swarm comes out, only finds the Zeus. Witch Doctor dies to Poison Touch. As Morphling comes in, turns into Tiny. Starts charging at Tiny, but...
Oh, toss?
It's a little double toss.
Toss?
Dazzle's being tossed around by like a... I didn't want to finish that sentence. Like a dodgeball as
like a wet fish.
split up fight. Dazzle dies to the side to the TA, so TA getting a nice pickup there. As now the Morphling, now super low mana, will go down. Had a 7-stick. Not sure if it was on cooldown or not.
TA gets tossed on top of the AA.
Dazzle will find that Tiny, so Tiny does fall for this. Dazzle buyback actually for that kill. Brewmaster trying to get out of there. Go on this, or Weaver trying to go on the Brewmaster. Brewmaster just running around solo. Axe will die to the TA and Zeus. The Brewmaster does die to this Weaver though. Weaver gonna just run away. So
Weaver here, yeah.
Die back Dazzle. So 5 heroes die for 3. Only 700 gold swing. I think the most significant part of that is the Weaver survived and the TA survived. Both those heroes getting a ton of gold and XP from that fight.
No top net worth.
They're the big winners of that. Dire's going to be hanging around bottom. They want to start pushing this tower. TA almost has Desolator, just needs another creep to get that. As we have a blink in by Tiny onto Morphling mid, will just pop him 400 gold. Kill. Going
kill.
On Dan, killing Yams. I think Yams is like one of the best players on MUDBOYS, right?
Yeah, I think he is. Him and Ziggy are the higher MMR players.
Witch Doctor is going to be right-clicking a Weaver. It's not going to work as Ziggy is just going to turn and kill that Witch Doctor. I feel like this Weaver and Dazzle can just run around together anywhere they want to, and they can just get kills that way.
Yeah.
They don't need to be playing defensively. Just these two heroes combined can just absolutely just take over whatever part of the map they want.
Absolutely.
So TA with the Desolator is going to stick around bottom and finish off this tower with the Catapult. And
there's so much push on Dire.
TA is going to run over to Tormentor with the Dying Charges of Refraction. Going to wait for second Refraction. Okay, so she's just going to wait for the team. This should be a very easy Tormentor with Desolator, Meld, tons of negative armor. Still gets the heroes pretty low, but the regen from Tormentor will bring them back up.
ALC or no? Nope.
Shard does go to Zeus, which is a pretty useless shard on a support Zeus. Does give the hero some farming ability.
Yeah.
But other than that, it doesn't really help in fights. Morphling is trying to bring down this very low tier 1 mid. Brewmaster's sticking around, probably wants to get the deny. No, he's going for the kill. Gets cold feed up, pops the Primal Spit to dodge. Tiny in the back. Spirit Vessel comes out from somebody onto the Morphling, preventing them from getting that much attribute shift. And he just gets bursted down between the Tiny and
Dazzle's dead now too.
Dazzle now, not the projection, unable to escape. Will go down. Dan double kill. Dire's starting to cure a bit of a lead here. They're 7,000 up. Weaver's coming mid, half HP. No ulti on the Brewmaster, but I don't think that's going to stop Dire from trying to get the this mid tower. Tiny blinked aggressively into the triangle, trying to find this Weaver. If he sees this Weaver, that's going to be a dead Weaver. Only 600 HP. Drops the ward. If he had immediately dropped that ward, he could have gotten the kill on the Weaver, so a little bit of a missed timing there. Yeah, the greedy draft from Radiant is starting to hurt a little bit. This TA wants to, or not TA, this Morphling wants to farm up items. He went double Wraithband Vlad's, so even trying to go like
Yep.
early game fight items, but still not enough.
Oh,
Tiny on the side, gonna find Dazzle, not gonna be enough burst. Recognizes that actually really early on and just blinks out even before his combo's finished.
mhm.
So nice read by Dan there. GTFOing when appropriate. But Axe really wants to get Blink Dagger before he starts committing to fights. Morphling kind of
He's
just wants
close.
to. Morphling just kind of wants to farm for the rest of the game. Let's be honest. Like, doesn't. He wants to be like 3 or 4 slotted before he really
Yeah.
starts fighting. And the Weaver, Falcon Blade, Maelstrom, you can fight with that. You're just very squishy. Like, if the enemy has any kind of burst or disable, which Dire has both, then it's a very dangerous game for the Weaver to be in.
Oh, they're going bottom.
Doesn't stop the Weaver from going in on this Templar. Weaver has to pop the time-lapse very early on before really doing any kind of damage to the Templar.
A lot of rotations.
Yeah, Witch Doctor does come out. He will switcheroo for the time being, keeping him alive. A Blast coming and Weaver working on the TA on the side. Axe Coin Blade will kill the Witch Doctor. Morph very low, is graved up. Q's up, or waveforms away to survive. TA dies in the back, meanwhile, to Axe. Seems like...
Oh, Tiny's not coming to this.
Yeah, Dire trying to disengage. No Tiny in this fight. Morphling as well has split off. Brewmaster respawns. Weavers are right on top of him. Will go down. Ziggy is unstoppable. So even with this gold lead, the cores for Radiant are doing pretty well. I mean, Axe and Weaver haven't really died. 5-2, 6-0. So if it's just supports dying, it's fine. Tiny's gonna blink forward offensively, finds the A, toss combo, mass TP rotations.
Wow,
Could be a dead Tiny. He has the regen rune. So not healing up through this, but the whole squad's here.
Oh, he gets to kill anyways!
Greater Tiny gets
No.
that. Gets the ancient apparition at the end of that, but does die, dominating going to Ziggy G.
Is that how you pronounce that? I thought it was Ziggy G.
Ziggy G, Ziggy, I don't know.
I don't know. It's like that one dude in the league that was like 88888.
There's one that's just like a barcode. Oh yeah,
no, it's 888.
Yeah. That's... I'm not gonna say your full name if you do that. I'm just gonna call you 8.
Well, there's one other guy who was on his team. I forget what his name was, but his sponsor was 888. So they both look like 888 when you're watching the game. It was incredibly annoying.
Right.
So I guess MUDBOYS want... They're expecting the game to last like 30, 40 minutes, right? And 51st State kind of has hit their timing. They're looking to go now.
Smoke up by Dire. Dazzle showing in lane bottom. Tiny's gonna blink forward. Zeus comes out. Tiny doesn't have the damage to kill this Dazzle.
No.
Dazzle has the cloak.
A poison touch.
What'd the poison touch do?
Slow the target. Wait, it wasn't attack speed slow. Why wasn't he attacking that fast? Oh, I guess he doesn't have like an echo or anything. There's nothing for attacks. No, he does have the echo. Why was he attacking so slow there? That was strange.
Not sure. Dazzle does have the cloak, so that probably helped him survive that initiation.
Yeah.
Dire's hanging around bottom. His Radiant does smoke up. Looking to make some kind of counterplay here.
Oh, they're gonna hit the A.
Ooh, A is just out of smoke break
Wow.
distance. Oh, Tiny's gonna see him. Ooh, Templar blinks in. Glimmer.
3 hit. Oh,
Do they have detection? Witch Doctor pops the ulti onto Morphling, but he's gonna get popped very quickly. As on the bottom, Axe and A are gonna try and bring down this Templar. Templar's just gonna meld strike the A. Goes down, gets stunned. Axe has the taunt. Uses it. Ooh, Morphling steals TA, meld strikes the TA, kills her. 3 dead on the side of Dire now. It's just Tiny Brewmaster. Brewmaster has Primal, chooses to use it. Tiny getting very low. Is about to get Coin Blade by this Axe. Chop. 4 dead now.
Nice plays.
It's Brewmaster all alone. Nobody particularly low. He sends the Earth Panda north, actually, through the gate. I didn't even know you could send
Nice
those
play.
pandas through the gate.
Yep.
But that's going to keep the Brewmaster alive.
Yep. Nice out.
Ends up being a 1 for 4. And Dyer was like 7k up at the start of that fight.
What a turnaround.
So Radiant definitely going back into this game. Like the onus is on Dyer, I feel, to try and get tempo and win this game. Like they can't. I don't think they want to go late versus a Weaver, Morphling, Axe. I think like even AA and Dazzle scale better than Witch Doctor Zeus.
Witch Doctor Zeus, yeah.
It's gonna be a contest over this Roche as Soggy has a dust, pops it to bring this Dazzle. He did miss the Meld Strike though. Gonna get the Grave off, so survives for a second. Yams picks up the Aegis, so we're gonna turn on for this fight. Nice Zeus ult's gonna get
Weaver's
everybody
dead!
low. Weaver dies. Was anybody get a time lapse off? Aegis gets popped immediately onto Morphling. Dazzle gonna die. As Brewmaster dies as well. Witch Doctor is going crazy as it kills the Axe, and now Morphling left all alone versus 4 heroes. TA just right-clicking.
Wow.
Damn, don't get the double kill.
There's the tempo.
Yeah, that was
They fought into Aegis there.
Yeah, it just popped like almost immediately. Alright, so what happened there? Most damage TA. Dazzle was basically getting popped while his team was ignoring him.
Witch Doctor got a sick ult off. Call was also missed.
Did not see the call. That's probably important to land.
He missed
that.
call probably by about 10 units. It's unfortunate.
So maybe an execution thing. Maybe they should have backed out of Roshan earlier and took in the fight.
Yep.
But Dire end up winning that and regain the initiative as they're going to run bottom. Axe nearby. TPing heroes down here, so it's probably going to be a fight. Axe blinks in onto the TA, pops Blade Mill. She's going to start doing damage to herself. Morphling now. Ooh, gets nice Force Staff.
Nobody gets AL to.
As now the Witch Doctor is probably going to get exploded here in a second by the Morphling Meld. Yeah. Weaver, time lapse. Nice dodge. TA is going to die though. 2 Yams, double kill on Yams. They're going to look for more here. As they're running now after Nick. Axe has vision. Nick is going to run into the tree line. They're going to not guess correctly. Nick gets out of there.
Nice Uke. Nice out. Only 3k up now.
2 die. Importantly, TA dies. She's the highest net worth in the game. And she farms so quickly that anytime she's dead, it's just such a massive dent into her contribution to the game. And Radiant aren't going to let their foot off the gas pedal here as they run bottom, push out that tower. And get that last remaining tier 1. They might stick around for the tier 2, actually. They start...
This is wild.
Playing aggressively. They have the Siege Catapult. Morphling does a lot of damage to tower. And just left alone to hit this tower. Looks like Dire will want to do something here, but don't have the heroes right now to commit to it. Tiny on the side is going to start the fight onto AA, but gets graved up. Witch Doctor blinks in aggressively. Nice Cascade. Voodoo Switcheroos does a ton of damage, but Axe now blinks in onto the Witch Doctor, bringing them very low. AA did die somewhere in the middle of that. Neil in the backline. Tiny trying to kill this Dazzle. So both teams really just going for the supports. As Templar starts right-clicking the Axe on the side, Tiny will get the kill onto Dazzle. Witch Doctor dies soon thereafter, followed by the Axe. As
Zeus attacked your... Zeus almost died. He wasn't attacking the bugs.
Yeah, I think he was killing the creeps to have the creeps help him kill the bug. Because Zeus doesn't have great attack speed, but... Yep. That was a sick Witch Doctor play in that fight. Just blinking forward, casking to switcherooing. Just like trying to...
had some sick plays this game.
Yeah. Just trying to basically like break up the fight, just be a distraction. So item-wise, Brewmaster did go Radiant's Spirit Vessel. Spirit Vessel is very nice versus the Morphling. Doesn't do anything versus Weaver. Top lane, Tiny. It's going to blink in on Weaver, but Weaver's just going to time-lapse that off. There's a Yams here, though. It's Could be a very dead Tiny here. He's got the bug on him. No real way to kill it with that slow attack speed. He's going to try and kill it with the help of the Zeus, but Weaver's just going to run at him. Kill him off. Yams now is trying to run away from this Soggy who's running after him. Ziggy on the backline kills Zeus. Double kill for Ziggy. As Yam is getting focused by Dire. He's just playing with him though, waveforming away. The Dire leave their Zeus to die in the hands of the Weaver as they try to kill the Morphling, but were unable to. Now Weaver's at the top of the net worth. In terms of items, Weaver went Dragonlance, Falcon Blade, and Mjolnir. So pretty tanky. Lots of... Yeah, like I like these items because they're very early game. Like Falcon Blade, Dragonlance, very early game items. Mjolnir as well is very cheap damage item you can pick up. Radiant's going to start pushing this tower. With Tiny dead, 10 seconds.
Oh, he went in!
Probably don't want to fight right now. Brewmaster's going to primal up. Nice Manta dodge by Yams to break the stone throw. As Templar now trying to work on this Yams. Gets pushed back by the Void Panda, but no danger of dying. I'm trying to see where the kills are. Tiny's going to blink in onto the Morphling, get him pretty low. A's invis next to him. Tia's going to just two-shot that AA. Axe now blinks in onto the Brewmaster, getting him low as he comes out of the primal. Weaver having to run away from this Templar, very low HP. Tiny and Tia working together to kill the Axe. No, Tia goes to the side, kills the Brewmaster. Yep, Tiny's big and strong now with the Revenant's Brooch. Tiny and TA together just do so much damage. Gonna kill that Axe. Gotta look for more here. There is a Dazzle in the trees. Ooh, did the Lightning Bolt see him? It did. No way to stun this Dazzle.
Nope.
Actually, Zeus had the Yules, but Zeus went the wrong way.
Too far, yeah.
So, potentially could have gotten that kill, but just did not guess correctly. 2 for 2. Supporting 3, dying on both sides. As Weaver's going to get jumped by the TA. Pops the time lapse. Ooh, Tiny now comboing the Weaver, dies. So much damage coming out from this Templar and Tiny. As might be a dead Zeus here.
Oh, he's fine.
Very low. Ooh.
He's fine. I
think he needed like 2 more ticks there to die, but
yeah. Close though.
Manages to just barely stay alive. My hand's kind of falling asleep. I'm trying to shake it to keep it awake. Alright.
A long day of casting for you.
Yeah. Alright, what was I doing? I think I was looking at items. Axe went Pipe, Blade Mill, working towards Black King Bar. Has Link as well. Dazzle. Just a Glimmer Cape. One Treads Dazzle. That's unusual. I'm trying to get max value out of that Poison Touch, plus Facet. Morphling went Orchid Manta, going Diffusal. It feels like an unusual Morphling build. I feel like I don't see Orchid too often.
No, but it's good into the Brewmaster.
Yeah, able to burst the
Witch Doctor, good into the Zeus.
Definitely makes him more of a support killer. Ancient Apparition, standard items, Glimmer, Atos. And then on the side of Dire, we have Tiny who went Ag's Revenant Brooch.
Rev Brooch is really good, because Morphling is a high armor hero, right? So you just chew through the... You don't care about the armor.
Also, Axe is a very high armor hero if Axe gets kills.
It's a cheap way to just get damage as well. Axe has 8.5 armor harvested, so he's at 27 armor right now. Morphling's at 32 armor. It's a pretty good bridge game. Weaver has 20 armor.
Just surprising to see it this early on. I do like it. I know Tinies do pick it up. We're going to have a blink from the Tiny onto the Axe. We're going to try and burst him down. Grave by the Dazzle keeps him alive for a little bit longer. They're able to get the A blast off that because of that. Now Brewmaster going in on the Dazzle, punishing him. Ags by the Tiny, fills up that Dazzle. I don't know how the Morphling died. I think he just got blown up by the Witch Doctor. Yeah. Looks like Witch Doctor stunned them up.
Oh, the damage!
Death Ward. Massive damage by TA. You're seeing why this hero is so meta right now. Just so much burst on the side of 51st State. They could just explode heroes at will.
Yep.
Between this Tiny, this TA, the Zeus as well. just went all in on the bursts. And they're going to transition that into a Roshan. Brewmaster working towards Assault Caress. Pretty nice item to try and get through the armor, as well as give armor to the rest of the team. Radiant are pretty physical reliant. Witch Doctor working Towards Ags has that Blink Dagger to great effect. And Templar Assassin finished up Daedalus, Hurricane Pike, Blink, Deso. Not sure what item you go for next on that hero. She has Hex queued up. I do like that. The priority targets are Weaver and Morphling, and both of those are very mobile heroes. So
I think the priority targets are actually the AA and Dazzle, no?
I mean, those heroes explode in like 2 seconds, but
still makes it a priority.
You don't need any. You don't need any more items to kill those heroes. Is what I mean. Like,
right.
You just 2-shot them with your current items. You don't need anything else for those heroes. I do agree with you. Yeah, those are the priority targets, but it's nice to
crazy
have.
that the A went Atos before Ghost Scepter.
Atos is pretty standard. You get it to combo with the Cold Feet to guarantee the Cold Feet.
Sure, but the Ghost Scepter's so good.
Well, I think it's crazy this game is A didn't go the AoE Cold Feet. I feel like if you have Axe, you're going to be getting multiple heroes off in stuns. If you're going against a Brewmaster, it's nice to Cold Feet like the entire pack, because you have to be pretty good at micro as a Brewmaster to split up all those clones.
Yep.
Like the only strength hero on Dire is Tiny, right? Because Brew's universal these days. So I feel like the other fast on A could have been better.
Yeah.
Morphling did pick up the Manta Diffusal, has no item queued up. Has BKB now queued up. So the one problem I see with Radiant's draft is they're fairly reliant on Axe to be disabling heroes for the Weaver and Morphling to like just sit there and right click.
Right.
Because like A and Dazzle, they're not like a Lion or a Rasta or like an Enigma, right? Where they're the ones contributing to the CC. So you're really relying on your 3 to be setting up the kills for your cores. So just makes it a little bit harder in these team fights, because it's very important that the Axe is able to find a pick.
Get his shit off, yeah. Are they just gonna come high ground here? Are they gonna try to smoke or something?
They have Aegis for another 2 minutes. No tier 2s available. Tormentor is available as well if they want to go for that. They probably just want to go for a pick. Oh, they're gonna find the Axe again. Oh, he blinks out in the last second. Nice reaction by Jex there. And I feel like with that whiff, you probably just go for Torm here. I don't think Radiant are going to play outside their base. But Dire are going to smoke up. They're going to look for the kill anyway. Tiny now has that Silver Edge. And so is going to be leading the charge, looking for a kill. Radiant are going to be going into their triangle, looking for a D ward. They're going to pop vision on the ward, or on the TA trap. As
Dazzle's surviving.
Going to go on the Dazzle. Graves himself says going to survive for a bit longer. Axe BKBs. The Ags from Tiny just a little bit off the mark. Dazzle had the Gossamer kicks, so that missed the meld strike. But Dazzle
actually
ends up
solid
dying.
split push by the Morphling.
Yeah, I remember playing against this bullshit when we were playing against this team. Just constant pressure all the time.
That's good. That's a good way of playing Dota.
Well, they're down a hero. I guess we should split push. Tiny's going to TP back, has the Silver Edge, so Morphling's not going to see this. Tiny's going to start with a right click. Morphling was strength treading before the Tiny show.
Uh-oh.
Wonder how
Weaver's there.
Weaver's
here.
Tiny's just right clicking. Now Q's. Oh! Morphling fucked up. He overclubbed into the base. Tiny's just gonna axe. Morphling gets out of there. Dire, meanwhile, pushing mid. We have Witch Doctor ultimate getting dropped on nothing. As Weaver's not going, and BKB is just immediately dying to
Holy shit.
that Witch Doctor Ags ult. So actually, oh no, the Weaver time-lapse top. He TP'd in and had to time-lapse top.
They can probably cut off this team here.
Morphling gets immediately hexed. Oh no, caught Agi shifting off the hex.
Oh
A
no, that's
misclick by
despair.
Morphling. Dazzle getting thrown around once again in this game.
That's the risk of playing that hero.
Yeah. As Morphling forced to buy back now, look at that damage. A going down in almost 2 hits. Witch Doctor does die though in the back. Weaver picks up that kill. As Weaver was
Brewmaster might be in trouble.
flanking.
Nope.
Weaver has a time lapse. Surprised they're not using it. As they blink forward onto the high ground, they had the vision there. See that Weaver, easy pick. Really surprised to not see that time lapse. Actually, Weaver getting so low. So that's gonna be first set of racks for Dire. They move on to top. Buyback now from the Weaver.
Wow. That damage is crazy.
Dire's sticking around. Tiny's gonna blink in onto the Morphling. They're just gonna.
That...
Ooh, he's getting super low. He's strength treading, 100 HP.
Wow.
TA will bring him down. Weaver has bought back. Axe now just standing his ground. 0 HP. Staying alive with the grave for the time being. But Radiant can't do anything though because Tiny's axing that area. TA immediately buys back. She's TPing back in. Tiny half HP. Brewmaster has 25 seconds till Primal. Axe is gonna blink in onto the Zeus. No mana on that Zeus. No detection though. He's just gonna be able to run out of there. Weaver forced to BKB and run away. Dire's very low, but they're sticking around. This Morphling's dead. I believe they know he's buyback. Yeah, he did buyback recently, so they want to finish the game here. They dropped banner. It's TA now. With the help of Tiny, they start pushing these towers. Witch Doctor blinks in, trying to find this Weaver. That would be GG if they find this Weaver. Axe now, blink call onto the Zeus,
on the
dies,
same Zeus,
no corner blade, but they're just going to turn on this Axe and kill him with the Witch Doctor Death Ward.
There's Weaver.
Weaver dies, dieback Weaver. That's going to be game. These supports aren't going to be able to kill these heroes. Wait a minute, Tiny? Oh, if that landed on the Tiny, that would have been dead Tiny. Tiny does not have buyback, but they're not killing this TA. And 25 seconds on the Morphling. Game 1 will be going to 51st state. 33,000 gold up.
Oh!
1 more kill on that Ancient Apparition before the game ends.
Wowee.
Back in 4th game.
It was, and then I felt like 51st State finally put it together, played together, and then they just won multiple team fights in a row, right? That's what it was. I felt like they were ahead the whole game too. They just, I don't know. I felt like the draft was probably stronger than MUDBOYS. MUDBOYS had too greedy of a draft, I feel.
Yeah, between the Morphling, Weaver, and Axe, all those heroes want items before they start fighting. So just unable to apply that early game pressure. Tiny did a great job, like getting that blink first item, going to lanes.
Right.
Getting kills. I think the biggest problem was they were so reliant on Axe, MUDBOYS was, to like start fights. Because like Morphling, you know, he wants to hit stunned heroes. Like he has no Satanic. Like he doesn't really want to be, you know, def right clicking a Tiny and a TA. That's super hard. And Weaver as well just doesn't have that much defensiveness versus Tiny TA. So like the core matchups just didn't really line up, and they only had the Axe to really help those cores right click.
Yeah,
just makes it very hard. All right, so that was game.
Replay.
Yeah, so that was game 1. This is a VOD, so we're just gonna take a little bit of time to set up for game 2. So I'm gonna put up the loading screen here, and we'll stick around. We'll see for game 2. All right, syncing up 15, 14, 13, 12. Okay, let me. All right, we're good. All right, welcome everybody to game 2 of this VOD replay between 51st State and MUDBOYS. Loser of this series gets eliminated. Game 2, baby! 51st State did win first game. We think that MUDBOYS just was playing a little bit greedier with their draft, and Tiny TA both very meta right now, and together just do so much burst damage. Morphling Weaver just not really the cores you want to be playing against that draft. So gonna be interesting to see if they change it up for this game. MUDBOYS banning the same heroes they did last time. Right now the bans are identical. The first bans were, or the first picks were Ancient Apparition and what was the other one? It was, as I show the fucking match result. Okay, yeah, it was TA. So TA does get banned this time around, so we will not see that. And trying to think what to talk about. So as MUDBOYS, I feel like their play was fine. It was mostly just a matter of draft. They went with yeah. Course played well. Like if they lost fights, they were split pushing. If they saw it was a bad fight, they GTFO'd. Didn't overcommit. So there weren't a lot of every hero dying on one side happening that game. So you probably feel fine running something similar. Just get rid of those troublesome heroes. Ban out the Zeus as well. Yeah, last game it was it wasn't Tiny. What was I forget what was banned after Ringmaster. But in its stead we have okay, so Wraith King gets through. Jakiro gets through as well, gets picked up by 51st State. And Wraith King. Okay. So the heroes that get through get picked. Jakiro, I feel like I say this every single game, but just standard support, very pretty common right now, pretty strong right now. He deals very well with a lot of the annoying strong heroes. And the patch right now, has that double attack for TA, which is banned this game, but as Clockwork as well, you have that double strike. Phoenix sometimes gets picked up. Just any kind of hero that has a thing that you need right clicks to kill, like roster wards or any or tombstone. I think that Shakiro is great against. He's also just a great laner. He's very tanky. Dual breath combos well with a lot of common ones. You can flex him into the 2 position if it looks good. Yeah, it's not too. You see it in pubs every so often, not so much in pros, but is technically a flex pick. Wraith King is probably the strongest hero of the patch right now, sitting at 58% win rate in pubs. Wraith King's premise is that he just doesn't care about getting gone on or about getting bursted. And it's just kind of unusual for a position 1 when Wraith King is played in that position. Because if you're playing a Juggernaut or a PA, generally the enemy wants to focus you down. But Wraith King is kind of unfocusable. And you can build items to just be annoying and prickly, like Radiance, Ags, Refresher. Just try and stay alive a long time in fights. There are certain combos you can pick with the Wraith King, but you generally see him played pause 1. You can flex him into the pause 3 position if you want to run more of a like a controller in the safe lane. Yeah, it can be flexed. It's you can see it in either role. I'm trying to think of like lane matchups that go well with him. He tends to like negative armor. So you can see like Avenge. Any kind of slow or stun just so he can get on top of people and hit them is pretty nice. When you're facing off against Jakiro is not really a hero you try and counter against. You just try and avoid to pick heroes that Jakiro counters. So probably won't see like an Undying this game or a Clockwork. You could see a Clockwork, but it's just a little annoying to play against Jakiro. Next bands we see coming out are going to be Ember Spirit, Brewmaster, and A? Was A banned first phase? So we're not going to see Brewmaster this game. Shadow Shaman gets picked up, so entirely new draft so far. Okay. I'm not sure how the bans are. Looks like it was, yeah, 2 bans. Okay, so yeah, A and Ember got banned this phase, and Brew got banned this phase. Rasta, never just common, generic, good support. Feel like it lanes pretty well with the Wraith King. You can just max Shackles, and if the Wraith King goes Bone Guard, you just kind of focus heroes with the Shackles, the double stun, and the Skeletons. Jakiro probably wants to get Ice Path pretty early if you're expecting to lane the Jakiro into Shadow Shaman just to be able to break the Shackles. But if you do lane as Jakiro against these 2 heroes, you got to be very careful about your positioning because you're a pretty slow hero. Not a lot of armor. And you can absolutely get shredded. Nature's Prophet. I feel this hero was very strong at the beginning of the patch. I don't know how strong it is now that we're a couple months in. I feel like he gets... Yeah, I feel like he gets banned a lot still. I don't feel that he's too oppressive. I feel like people have figured out Nature's Prophet and they pick heroes to deal with him. Like the strength of Furion is ratting and split pushing and just applying pressure everywhere. And kind of like a Spectre where you can just farm on one side of the map and then wait for a team fight to happen. And just TP in and, add an extra body to that. You generally see Nature's Prophets get played as the one. You can technically flex it into any role. The skill line of the hero means he's basically good playing whatever. I wouldn't say he's particularly good versus Wraith King. He's okay versus Rasta. Silencer gets picked up by 51st State. I imagine that's probably to just be a team fighter, and then it's kind of like the axe from last game, where you just have something to allow your cores to just right click for a few seconds. And so silent because you don't really pick the silencer into Wraith King Shadow Shaman just to try and stop an ability like Shackles, I guess, but Shackles is pretty low cooldown. So seeing it there makes me think that they're more so just like trying to prevent themselves from getting raffle stomped by team fight. Good laner. Good laner. His biggest negative is that he doesn't do a lot of damage. It's a dot. It's decent with Jakiro. You'd like to see a setup stun for the Jakiro, something like a Venge or a Lion or something like that. Just like a reliable stun so the Jakiro can follow up with an Ice Path macro combo. Silencer doesn't do that. He applies a slow. And so Jakiro's doesn't have the best setup right now. Titans or Clockwork get picked up by MUDBOYS, and Medusa gets picked 51st State. Yeah, I muted desktop audio. Okay. So Tide and Wraith King can technically be in either lane, 1 or 3. It's probably going to be a 3 Tide though. Clock. It's likely going to be support clock, probably a 5 with the Wraith King. Tide, I don't know how Tide does against Nature's Prophet. So Tide loses to like magic damage. Nature's Prophet doesn't really do that much. It's just like the Q, the sprout. But that's not spammable, really.
Yeah, but he'll get a break pretty early, right? The Silver Edge.
Yeah, that is true. I'm thinking more about laning phase. I think
Mhm.
Tide just needs like a level or two, and then he's fine versus the Nature's Prophet. Clockwork. MUDBOYS has a lot of stun on their team. I
A
feel
little
like
bit lacking in
they're
damage.
yeah, their damage right now is on their cores, so similar to last game, they're gonna need items on their cores to really be able to do damage in fights.
Ooh. What do you play into that?
A's banned. Necro and Odie are very good counters. Odie is better versus the Medusa. They picked Lina. Lina's okay. Laguna can blow up the Husker when he's low HP.
Yeah, but
Lina's
that's
also
still
long enough range to deal with the Husker.
it's still gonna be a rough lane if he gets
I
blades on him.
I think I wanted to see an Odie actually versus this Lina. I think this is a great Odie game. Lina. Why didn't they pick the Odie? Maybe they don't play the hero.
Yeah.
That's a good reason. I feel like
Don't
Lina
work what you're
struggles
not
a little bit.
comfortable with.
Yeah, I feel like Lina struggles a bit more versus the Medusa than an Odie would. Odie is kind of a counter for Dusa. But there's your drafts. Skin game. I feel like MUDBOYS wins.
Yeah. The 51st state skins are kind of mid. Medusa skin's kind of nice.
That's a crazy Wraith King set. It's a custom one.
Oh, that's pretty cool. They definitely win that.
I like how the Rasta mask and the Wraith King chest plate are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a frog.
Good match.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they will also win the game and we'll have a game 3. And I know this is a VOD and we know the victory already,
Oh,
but
yes, hopefully. Hopefully I didn't accidentally show the the what do you call it? The match end result for a split second earlier in the draft. But regardless, game 2. In terms of lanes, I think Lena's gonna win mid. I mean, they had last pick, right? They have to feel pretty confident about Lena into Husker matchup.
Do they though?
I would
Anything
have
in a
liked to
Husker
see it
feels
Odie.
bad.
Odie would have been really easy. But
Two smokes.
it's gonna be Lena. As I need to turn on the camera once again. Alright, I'm gonna introduce the heroes before laning phase so we don't miss anything. Nate on the Medusa, Nick on Jakiro, Sagi on the Nature's Prophet, RJ on the Silencer, and Dan on Huskar. On the Dire, we have Yams on Lena, Jex on Rasta, Ziggy on the Wraith King, Magnus on Clockwork, and Moostyle on the Tide Hunter. Both teams smoking up, going to opposite river runes, and looking to invade the other's jungle. So the immediate thing I see this game is Dire does not have a way to deal with Dusa. Like a good way to deal with Dusa. Dusa is kind of in a weird spot right now where either you counter her or you don't counter her, and if you don't counter her, it's just extremely difficult to play into her. The only
I
heroes
mean,
that really
Cogs early is kind of good, right?
what is good, really?
Just throw Cogs at her.
Cogs? Cogs is
Yeah.
okay. It's like max level, it's
Wait.
140 mana burn per.
I mean, in laning stage it's good, but I mean, like, you're right though. Like, what do they do against her in the mid game? feels bad for Lena or for Wraith King to go Diffu.
Yeah, you'd like to have heroes like Windrunner or Animage with or any kind of hero with like a Diffusal Blade to try and burn that mana as quickly as possible. Animage is the best counter versus her because
Right.
she's not a hero at that point. She just becomes a 2000 HP nuke for
Mm-hmm.
for the enemy team. And Dire just doesn't have a great heroes to carry Diffusals on either. It's like Lena could go Diffusal. That feels awful.
That feels
So
awful.
if you want to win as Dire, you basically just have to ignore the Medusa as long as possible and kill all of her allies around her in order to win team fights. Bottom lane, Shackle and Jakiro, just a little bit of poke, trying to get him low. In terms of lane matchups, bottom lane, Jakiro Prophet is pretty strong together, I think. Just good slows, good right clicks. Rasta Tide doesn't combo super well. Tide just kind of needs to get levels and just survives the lane, I feel here. Mid lane, I'd expect Yams to win this versus Dan. Lena is one of the few heroes that can just outrange the Huskar. Just right click, walk away, right click, walk away.
Yeah.
And you also have the nuke damage, which Huskar really doesn't like playing into nukes. But if the Lena is not too careful, the Huskar can absolutely get right up into her grill, do a ton of
It's not a
damage.
free lane by any means.
Yeah, Lena it's an easier time for Lena. It's like she has an
Yeah.
easier time not losing the lane. And Huskars really want to win their lanes. Top lane, Wraith King Clock. Kind of difficult lane to kill heroes with, I feel. Like you can cog someone, double right click them. Mid lane Huskar getting very low to Lena. Took a couple tower shots trying to get him low. But sticking around. Yeah, not in danger of dying. Disa doesn't really ever get kills in
Oh,
lanes. What are we watching?
nope. I was watching mid, but nothing happening.
Lena getting right clicked. No burning spears on the Huskar. Going 1-0-2 build. Interesting. Just max sustain versus this Lena.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a slow top. I think Clock doesn't really want to be hyper aggressive. I feel like he puts himself in a lot of danger that way.
I feel like all these lanes are slow.
I think Lena Huskar, we're going to see some kills in that lane. Because Huskar can't afford to leave the lane, so he has to stick around. So there's always going to be conflict between him and the Lena.
Nothing's going to happen bottom, though.
Bottom, yeah. Tide's just going to play safe until he gets a couple levels in his W. And then once that happens, he's going to be basically unkillable. Top lane, we have a fight over the Lotus. Silencer is going to be the one going down. Wraithking's going to turn on to Dusa. Dusa, 1/3 HP, forced to give up the Lotus to the Wraith King. And just runs away off that. So first blood goes to the Clockwork. So once again, the 5 gets the first blood. And I guess that's one way to force a kill. If everybody is sticking around in the Lotus, trying to grab it. Bottom Lotus was picked up by Jakiro. Lena actually leaves lane to go hit jungle camps. Interesting.
I mean, Dan got burning spears now, right? Like, so laning is significantly harder. I know you get 2 hits for like one Huskar hit, but the burning spears kind of negates that.
It's only level 1 Burning Spear. It's not the end of the world. Nice cog work by Clockwork up there. Gets that silencer down to half HP. Bottom lane, Jakiro working on the Shadow Shaman, getting him pretty low. Yeah, it's kind of feeling like this is going to be a pretty slow laning phase. Wraith King
Especially compared to
Medusa.
Huskar.
Yeah, Wraith King Medusa don't really get kills. I think what's going to happen is we're going to see the mid lanes get level 6, and we're going to see rotations. And probably going to see kills come off of that.
Medusa top CS. Huskar has 11 more denies than the Lena does.
That is... I'm actually was expecting that because Lina has to play far away from the Huskar, like
Right.
taking advantage of her range. It just means the Huskar is closer and has the advantage to getting those last hits and denies. Huskar's maxing out that Berserker's Blood, so pretty soon he's gonna just be able to out-sustain this Lina in lane. As the ult now, so I'm gonna watch this lane just in case the Lina just does a slight misstep.
Oh, top.
Gets out of position.
Silencer.
Top lane.
Oh, nothing doing.
Clockwork going on the silencer. The Gorgon's Grasp was not enough to stop the clock, but clock forced to run away from the silencer, getting too low. 6 minute is coming up. Lina now has 6, so Huskar has to play a little bit safer. As we have Rasta running mid, just level 3 though. Looks like he was going for the rune maybe, sticking around for the time being. Rasta went top. I think that was a TP. They're running at the silencer. Wraith being able to get the Wraithfire Blast off. TP by the Chikiro. Shadow Shaman's gonna shackle up the silencer. Ethereal Shock will finish off the kill. Wraith King gets treated up by the Nature's Prophet. Will go down. So 4-4 support for the moment. Clock now getting pretty low. Furion just trying to run him down, but now he's getting low. Right clicking the Rasta. Has no mana for shackle. Dies to the Ethereal Shock. Once again, double kill on the Shadow Shaman. As Lina now comes in, use the Laguna Blade. Medusa's a little bit hard to go on though. Rasta getting low.
Silencer's easy.
Yeah, Silencer running at him. Right click, not enough. Rasta will get out of there as now Wraith King comes back, TP's in, trying to find Silencer. Lina's here, no mana, doesn't matter though. As
Wraith King's
gonna die, again. As now Huskar comes in now, but feels like everybody on all the team other than Tide has come into this fight at this point. But this is a Huskar with double bracer. I think this is gonna put an end to this team fight shenanigans up here.
I feel like I'm ahead of you.
Yeah, I feel like for some reason you're getting slightly ahead of me. I'm at 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. You good?
Okay, we're even. Yep.
I think you might be like loading in a little bit quicker than I am on the when we enter the game. You probably just have a better computer.
Probably.
So the lanes, everybody goes back to their lanes. Clockwork trying to burn this Medusa's mana, but she's just gonna dodge that. Wraith King not having a fun time versus these sneaks. Net worth wise, yeah, full level down from the Medusa. Wraith King just getting solo. Clock is gonna get them under tower though. Right clicks from the tower coming out on Jakiro. TP in by Tide. Ravage on Jakiro. You're gonna force him down. Wraith King does die though. Gets the XP and the gold before that happens. Medusa has a Lotus, pops it, uses the stick now, but she's all out of regen. As the rest of Dire are here, shackle from the Shaman. You gotta start working her down. She runs into the cogs. Nowhere to go. Healing spree on the Rasta. That's a nice pickup. Yeah, so much time. This is what happens when you don't have a way to deal with her. Even with the cogs or the mana burn, it just doesn't matter. Nice 700 gold swing pickup there. As both Radiant supports come top, they are a little bit of XP off their 6. And Wraith King still doesn't have 6 yet. They're gonna throw some spells on him. Whiff on the Arcane Curse. 3 heroes facing 3 heroes in this top lane. Jakiro now out of position, casting spells on the Shadow Shaman. Gets cogged up by Clockwork. But so far, just poking and prodding. Ice Path on the Clockwork now. Gets Dual Breath and Arcane Curse. Very slow, but walking out of there. Rasta just shackles up the Medusa. Lina now TP and Laguna on the Jakiro. Brings him down. Right-clicking the Silencer now. Yams picks up the kill on Jakiro. Rasta picks up the kill on Silencer. Nice rotation by that Lina. Huskar is left alone mid to farm, though. Or he can turn that armlet. A minute or two off that. Another 1,000 gold pickup as the Garaf swings the other way. Medusa gets gone on top. Cogs are forcing her to the middle of 3 heroes. She's half mana, has a 14 stick. Prophets get a TP in and just burst down this roster though. Medusa turns now. They're just going to be able to burst this Wraith King. He has not leveled up ult yet. Does he pop it? Yeah, he's going to level it up. So we'll deny that kill. Now Prophet's probably feeling a bit awkward up here as he TP'd and got the kill and has nothing to do now. He's just going to be bottom again.
They could have taken a tower.
Probably could have. I feel like this Tide should just walk at this Furion. Furion did pick up Javelin. I like that. Gives you a way to deal damage to the Tide through the Kraken. Clock has come bottom, has hook shot. Prophet might be in a bit of danger here. Radiant are just going to be going on top. Medusa has the finished Meteor Hammer coming on Courier, but they didn't need it to secure that tower. Shakira and Silencer walk over to the gate, thinking about taking it, but they're going to stick around top for a little bit longer. Courier now goes back to lane, gets slowed up by Tide, pops the Ravage. Clock coming in, not committing the hookshot for the time being. Drops the Cog, breaks the trees. Medusa now alone, but Huskar's gonna TP in. They're gonna try and burst down this Clockwork, pop the Stone Gaze. Sports just running for their lives. Roster and Clock go down. So they get the Fury in, but the TP rotation by Huskar with that fresh armlet means it's probably a net positive for them. Yeah, about 400 gold. Top lane, Jakiro and Wraith King are having a go at it as Furion is pump faking the TP. Lena's running bottom. Might be a play down there in a second here as both Dire supports TP top, interestingly enough.
Oh,
so they won't be able to come down here for this fight bottom. Lena has Arcane Rune. Global pops before the Silencer dies. Huskar is going to take the opportunity to go and kill the Tide. Lena.
Oh no. Oh,
right clicks her down, but the Huskar does die. Lena did not get XP for that because she died before Huskar did, but 2 for 2.
They spent way too much time going on Medusa. Like, what? Why? They've spent like the entire game going on the Medusa, I feel.
Yeah, you never want to spend... Like, she's the tankiest hero in the game. Like, at this stage of the game, there probably isn't a tankier hero than Medusa. Like, period. No. Like, even an Axe Vanguard is squishier than a Medusa with a Meteor Hammer. 27 HP regen with that. Oh, she was bottled up. But, yeah, if you don't have any way to burn mana, like, you have to ignore this Medusa in fights. She's just not going to go down. You're going to spend all your resources on her and only get her to, like, half mana or whatever. And the enemy team is just
started off with a Laguna Blade on the Medusa that last fight.
It's fine to get a Laguna off on something because it gives you the
stacks,
the thermal runway stacks.
Yeah.
So it's okay for that, but yeah, ideally you put that on like a Silencer or Jakiro and try and burst it down. Or ideally a Huskar, who's low HP. Huskar can go in with impunity once that Laguna is used.
Pretty close game though. Only 1k up on 51st state.
Only 1k, but this Medusa's probably going to start pushing lanes here pretty soon. And I don't know if Dire have the ability to deal with it. Lena's going to Laguna Silencer, follow-up hook shot. Huskar now feeling pretty confident to go in. He's going to get shackled up, right-clicked by the Lena. Nice focus fire by Dire to bring that Huskar down, but Lena's going to lose her life for it. Yeah. Tide now running away. Rasta dies in the back to Prophet. As Jakiro tried to hide under the safety of his tower. Dies. Tide Hunter dies. Furion now dies to Wraith King.
Yeah, but it's like Medusa gaming now. Like, what are you going to do?
The whole team's there. Yep. Medusa here, meanwhile, just got to ignore the whole time. 3 for 3.
That's what they had to do.
And it kind of sucks. It was technically a one fight, 3 for 4 on the side of Dire. You can never kill this Dusa. You have to kill the entire enemy team before you can go on this Dusa. This is going to combo up Wraith King. Global pops out. Wraith King's just going to run at them. He has the reincarnation. Clock as well nearby has hookshot. They could turn on this. Medusa's just sitting frontline though. She's literally full HP, is full mana, full everything.
Wow.
Can't do anything. She just sits her fat ass in a lane. Can't you can't budge her.
4 heroes for this shit too.
Yeah, they want to do something. They're desperate to do something.
The cogs?
Yeah, there's no Wraith King though, Lina though, so I don't think Dire wants to take this fight. They're going to be going into a tower with a Huskar having TP available. Mid Lina hunting a Furion, decides to go for the creeps though. As Dire are probably feeling... Did Wraith King die? No, he's just... Oh, okay, he's Yarmo toggling.
Yeah.
I saw him at like 0 HP. I was like, what the hell? Dire are probably feeling like they can't do anything at the moment. They have Blink Rasta, they have Hookshot. So if they see a hero in lane, like a Huskar or a Furion, they can absolutely kill that hero. They just have to be in position for that. But like these long fights where you're like sitting in a lane waiting for something to happen, it's not going to accomplish anything. Ooh, 2 heroes getting really... 3 heroes getting really low there. Taking
That's
that
likes being
Tormentor.
low though. He's fine.
Yeah. Just a little bit spooky. So I feel like Dire just need to be like very mobile. They can't play static. If they play, they have to take advantage of their blink timing on Rasta, the fact that Clock has hook shot, and like run around with Lina and try and get picks and try and like force towers off the picks. Like you can't just like passive farm and static up, which is exactly what they're doing.
Not with this lineup.
Yeah, Wraith King working on that Radiance after Armlet. Lina going for Shadow Blade. Very early. Looks like she's going to rush Silver Edge. And as for Radiant, I feel like they should be like pressuring super hard right now, like going for Aegis right now. They have Jakiro, they have a Meteor Hammer Medusa, they have Global Silence up.
Find a pick first.
Yeah, I don't think they care about that. I feel like they should just be shoving lanes.
Just going, yeah.
Having this Medusa in front, Meteor Hammering tier 2s. Huskar just grabbed 4 bounty runes. Nice pickup on him.
Put him up 3k with that.
Yeah, about that.
They are shoving lanes now.
Yep, smoke play by Dire running top. This is exactly what they need to be doing. They're going to find a Medusa, but ideally you find something else. Silencer out of position. Wraith King walks right into his arms. Gets the global off. Immediately dies. I don't think Dire can turn this around. They're TPing in heroes on Radiant. Yeah, Huskar's coming. Dire's spending a lot of time chasing this Jakiro. They're going to burst him. And Huskar decided to leave. Huskar just went back to farm. So
yeah,
nice 2 support pickups by Dire. In terms of late game, I feel like Radiant are better late game. They only have like Wraith King. I guess Lina can core as well. If
I
Lina
still don't
goes
know how
right
you
click
kill the Medusa.
Have a Blinken on the Silencer. They're just gonna blow him up with a Ravage, and they're gonna work on the Medusa.
Oh, Huskar's in.
That's not gonna work. Huskar's in. Right-clicking Tidehunter. Lina does not have Laguna for another 5 seconds. Huskar playing safe. Regardless, worried about that. Tide's gonna go down. Wraith King very low. Can Armlet toggle. Does so. No Blink Dagger though, so just has to walk away.
Oh, you got pathed.
Yep, missed on the Armlet toggle. Full HP off the Reincarnation. Will try and TP out. Gets immediately A-toast by Medusa. Gorgon's grasped for good measure.
Meteor hammered.
Roster will die. Wraith King will die. Lena came in on Boots of Travel and died. 5-man wipe
man.
for
Despair.
Radiant. Oh boy.
Here we go.
Yep. If you 5-man wipe versus a Furion, Huskar, Meteor Hammer, Medusa, Jakiro, expect your towers
all
to
of your
go
towers.
bye-bye.
Yeah. What a pushing lineup. Holy shit.
Expect your towers to go bye-bye. First tier 2 of the game will fall. And Radiant are establishing themselves top. Don't think they have the ability to go high ground, but tier 2 looks pretty tempting. Could also vie for Roshan. Huskar TP's bottom. Lena's invis is going to go on the Furion. Misses the stun. Furion's just going to right click. I think the Furion is...
Wait, he's running away.
Ooh, only one Mjolnir proc. Furion's going to run away. And Huskar on the side kills that Lena. So, whiffed gank by Yams.
Yeah.
Space for Wraith King.
Space for Wraith King.
Space for Wraith King Radiance.
Do you have it?
They're working on
Close.
it. 200 gold. Net worth's looking a little despair. Tied just barely above the Jakiro support. And Fury and Medusa pretty far ahead of the Dire Cores.
There's a Roshan. Can't Huskar
Roshan
solo this
attempt.
as well?
Huskar can solo this. Especially with lifesteal. You don't even need lifesteal to do it. Yeah, he backpacks that shit. It's very easy when you have Medusa tanking all the bashes for you. As you can literally just sit there and armor toggle and right click.
Oh no,
So, Aegis goes on the Huskar. He hasn't really been dying. But still probably the hero you put it on just because
yeah.
he does the most damage and he's at most risk of dying.
Lena's in trouble.
Haste Rune, Huskar runs in, has the Shadow Blade, no detection. She's gonna run away. Shakira also doesn't have detection. They scan for her, but don't see her. She'll have TP in about 5 seconds. She's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Medusa Radiance, working towards Gleipnir. So picking Radiance to counter the Radiance of Wraith King, I guess. I mean, if you're 4-1-10 and the enemy has no way to kill you, like a Medusa or a Diffusal Windrunner, you may as well just go Radiance, right?
Might as well.
You're just going to be
I don't
alive
think
for
he's
that long
gonna finish it. Like, oh, you're talking about the Medusa, not the Wraith King.
Yeah, Medusa.
That is the build right now.
Surprised to see it this early, though. Lena, Invis, gonna find a silencer, wants to pop, whiffs. Hookshot also whiffs. Gets the global off, but they're just gonna be able to finish up the right click. Medusa, Stone Gaze run away. She has no allies immediately, but Huskar and Jakiro running in. She's kind of trying to bait them. Throws out the Atos. Gorgon Grasp to follow. Clock now out of position. Ice Path stuns them up. Wraith King on the side, though, starts killing Jakiro. No detection on him. Clockwork will die to the Furion. And Radiant are just going to push this next year too. Yeah, this game can be summed up right now as no Medusa counters. Just has Radiance, has Meteor Hammer. I'm going to push all your towers and you can do nothing to stop me.
Like, what do you even do right now if you're Dire? Like, how do you stop her? You have 0 ways of doing that, right? Without spending all of your item or all of your skills.
You don't fight her. You shove lanes as hard as possible. You cut waves. You just do everything possible to prevent a team fight.
And this team is good at split pushing, but their heroes aren't very good at split pushing, right? Like Tidehunter, Wraith King, Lena can kind of split push, but Wraith King can, I guess, with skeletons. Tidehunter can't really. I don't know. It feels rough.
Wraith King is behind now. It's Wraith King and Lena. They should be the ones split pushing. Clockwork can with Flare. He hasn't maxed it, but you can push lanes out with Flare. And that's really just the game plan. Just you gotta delay, try and
Split
get
push.
items up on your cores, split push, cut, yada yada. Prophet TP's top. I don't know if they... Yeah, they don't see the Wraith King. Sigigi, are you gonna go for the Furion? Ooh, he's turning around. Furion's gonna TP out of there.
Right under his eyes. Nice.
Bot
You gonna
tower
shove high
gets
ground here?
taken. Yeah, absolutely. Here, Medusa is probably the strongest she's gonna be in this game at this moment. And we're gonna have mass TPs back. Huskar out of position. Shock will Ravage, but the immediate global silence prevents any kind of follow-up. Tuskar's gonna turn around with that Aegis, bring this Tidehunter down with the Burning Spears. Huskar just surviving for the longest time, get right click his Clockwork down.
Nice
Wraith King
engage.
trying to kill his Huskar, but there's just no way to stop him. Lina finally has the damage to bring this hero down.
That's
Wraith King
Aegis.
dies, reincarnates, comes back up. Aegis. It's gonna pop. Rasta dies. Now they have the dust for the Lina. Shadowblade's not going to save you. As triple kill for the Huskar. We have a buyback from Tidehunter. Trying to save these racks or this Zigigi. As Wraith King's going to have to run away. They turn. They're fighting under tier 4s.
I don't understand too.
Doesn't matter though. It's just the region's too much Satanic on
Rampage!
Huskar. Rampage Dan. Full
Holy.
wipe. And goodbye tier 3. Goodbye set of racks. Oh for 6 in that fight. Huskar doing almost 15,000 damage.
That's nuts. I feel like that's pretty much the game, right? Like,
Yeah,
again,
I
what do you
mean,
do? You can't flip push at this point.
You can't get them out of your base. Right
And
now.
Radiant's push is just so good.
So the one nice thing is that the supports are pretty low. Silence for Jakira. They don't have any kind of heals to sustain them. So you could technically burst them. Lina's actually wrapping around trying to look for a dogshit solo play. Lagoon is the silencer. Gossamer
get the kill.
keeps him alive for one
Despair.
attack. But they have a hook shot in. Another whiffed hook shot by Magnus.
Don't go
As
to Medusa,
Lina
don't
is
go to
getting
Medusa.
flanked TP'd by the Nature's Prophet and goes down. Rasta will go down as well as Medusa's channeling up a stun. Gets the kill on... Actually, no, Jakira's on her own team. This is the Wraith King. Cock's trying to do his best to keep this Medusa away from everybody, but yeah, Wraith King is just getting kited to hell by this Furion. And Furion will get away if BKB's out. Buyback Jakiro. They feel that victory is close as they're going to run back in. Huskar with the Satanic. What item is on courier? Now has the Ags. Get an ult in on this Tide, followed up by the Meteor Hammer. They just don't have the damage to deal with this Huskar if Lina dead. Ravage, but
Wait, what
actually,
did Clockwork hook onto?
there's a hook shot. He hook shot his Rasta in the ass.
I
This
see.
has not been a good game for Magnus. Just so many whiffed hook shots. I don't think it would have mattered just because that's not the problem this game. The problem is the Medusa.
Yeah.
But it definitely feels really bad when you miss this many hook shots. Radiant, finish off those tier 4s. Let's get to the end. Lina TPs onto the flank. Global comes out. She can't do anything. Yep, Huskar is gonna bring down the Rasta. Lina on the side. Burst the Jakiro. Huskar just right-clicking the whole team though. Lina and Wraith King working together. Bring down the Furion. No buyback on him. Huskar, meanwhile, just left to his own devices with the rest of the team.
Killing cogs for 16 gold apiece.
Rasta did buyback, blinks in, shackle, no global to stop him now as Silencer whiffs the silence on Rasta. Huskar though, can you bring this hero down? He Satanics up, he's right clicking, Wraith King doesn't win this. Dip triple kill on Huskar.
Oh, Lina bought back.
Do they have enough? Huskar dies.
Oh, they do. Nice. The last hurrah. Can they kill Medusa now?
Medusa getting chased by Wraith King, very low mana. She's getting burned up. Lina though, Invis right behind. They're gonna give up on the kill. Show fight recap. So Lina did buyback. They did kill a Huskar. And they did not get mega creeps. And that was a good chunk of gold going to Dire's cores for those kills.
Yeah. But they're still 24k behind. It's still rough.
Still very rough. That fight, they won that fight because Huskar just spent his time killing supports. And Lina and Wraith King were able to work together to kill the entire rest of the team. Able to kill the Jakiro and the Prophet. And I believe the Silencer as well. And so they finally had a numerical advantage and were able to bring the Huskar down because of that. So you probably can't expect that to happen once again. If Radiant congregate and go top, Silencer's gonna poke the Wraith King. He's all alone up here. Kind of a ballsy play by him. BKB is actually by the Wraith King. That's you love to see that as a support. You make a make the enemy carry BKB and TP home. Huskar is going to go for the solo Roshan. Lina went Revenant's Brooch.
Need cheap damage.
Interesting. I guess there's some armor on the enemy team.
Well, it's not even armor, right? It's like 3k for like all this damage that you get. It's very money efficient, cost effective.
Plus the spell lifesteal is better on her versus say like a Tiny. Okay. Do they give the Aegis to the Huskar again? They do.
Let's run it down.
Huskar's 300 gold off BKB.
Oh, and a shield rune. A shield rune.
That's honestly kind of bad as Huskar. I mean, it's good in this situation because you're just going to be right-clicking high ground, but you can't really damage yourself until that shield rune is gone.
That's true. That's your armor top properly, right?
We have a long jump in by Huskar onto the Clockwork. He does no damage because he's so high HP. Dire just going to do everything he can to bring him down. He's broken. Global comes out though. He's just going to turn around, has the Satanic if he wants to use it, pops it, kills the Lina, diebacked on the Lina. As Huskar is just going to go in and kill the Tide Hunter next. Wraith King, meanwhile, in the back, trying to kill supports, trying to kill that Jakiro, unable to. Hook shot! He lands a hook shot! Shackle shot! Shackle on the Jakiro. Getting him low, but the Huskar is just right here, right-clicking everything. Jakiro does fall, but at the cost of the whole team. Wraith King and Rasta go down. Ultra kill Dan. Wraith King bought back. GG is called by Yams. Wraith King, he's trying to give him the rampage. Let him get it! Let him get it! It's not gonna get it because of the reincarnate.
Oh no, disaster.
Disaster. Well played to 51st State for 2-0ing MUDBOYS. I feel like the draft game was on point, both games.
Yeah, they had fantastic drafts for both games, actually.
Yeah. I feel like skill-wise it was, pretty equivalent. Just what do you do against Dusa, man? If you don't have any kind of play, if you don't have any kind of play versus the Dusa, you have to ban it.
Huskar actually had a fantastic game as well.
Yeah. Take a look at stats here. Huskar 19, 3, and 9.
Yeah.
35,000 damage, second highest on his team.
Quality player.
Well played to 51st State. Excited to play them at some point. I will not be streaming that game as I will be playing in that game, so hopefully someone else streams that game.
There's somebody will.
We have not yet casted our own VOD. I don't think I'm going to start doing that, though.
No, that's kind of strange, I think.
Yeah. I guess you could get, if it is the end of the season, right? You don't really care what you reveal. Like, oh, this is why we picked these heroes. Yada yada.
That's true.
Maybe we'll do it if we lose next week.
I think we want Sorry in there.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. He'd be able to make fun of us. Anyway, that's been a VOD replay. I've been Anthony, joined by Granola.
Nice.
Teasy. Whatever you go by. And yeah, thank you all for watching.